Hi guys, so this video is about Word Zoom poll in Hot Seat. Um, I was shocked last week. I watched that all unfolded, and I was gonna make my reaction video, but I was just tied up with work, so I was not able to do that. Now got more time, got more chance to do this reaction video. It's about Word Zoom poll. And what really kind of surprising to me, I was shocked, was the expose from Everyman Has a Story, Mart. I did not expect that, because as I know that Paul Cartwell lived in Dumaguete, and so is Mart, and Old Dog Paul also live in Dumaguete. So they are kind of in this expat community, and then all this sudden, all this drama unfolded. It's kind of I was really shocked coming that from Mart. I was really shocked that I have to also give Mart big credit, because this is what he believes. He believes that if you lie to him, he will expose you, which I totally agree with him. I've tried that before. If I've seen something is wrong, I try to bring up to the viewer, so I can understand Mart motive on this one. But what I was shocked, he was so passionate in doing so. He did not only did that in one video, but he also kind of reword on the title. I believe on his other video, on his previous interview of Paul Word Zoom. At the same time, I'm also gonna talk about Paul Word Zoom. This is not about to bash Paul or Mart. This is just my give my reaction video as usual. So kudos to Mart for standing what his belief, and then at the same time I want to say, and then of course after the expose, Paul have to come out and make a video, which is, I also compliment that with Word Zoom for doing that. I think that's if you have to explain your situation. If something, if somebody expose you, you have to, of course, you have to give your side of story, which I believe that, So also, kudos to Word Zoom Paul for doing that. Let me see here. So after, let's go kind of refresh what's going on after the expose. I watched the Paul Word Zoom poll video. This is called the accusations and rebuttal, which is I thought was pretty good response. And then I did also comment that. I said, hi Paul, I saw your story on both Mart and Paul channel. When I say Paul, was I mean Old Dog. And thanks for coming out and sharing your side of story. I believe if you have paid your mistake to society, you should get a clean slate. I also believe if you have told the viewer your previous mistakes and how you were able to come out of it, people will accept you and support you even more. You would probably have 10 times more subscriber than what you currently have. Look at Martha Stewart, Michael Milken, and even ex-MAP boss Michael France have his own channel, YouTube channel with 8 million subscribers. I don't know if you guys heard of Michael France. He is one of the Godfather. I watched some of his video. But now he come clean, he's just, he served his time, and he come clean, and he was just telling his story, life in the mafia. So and people likes that. People likes that, and that's why he got 8 million subscriber. Anyway, that's to complete my comment. I said anyway, just come clean with your viewers. Today is a good start, and I wish you good luck. So that's my comment to Ward Sun Paul. So then, out of my curiosity, I went back to watch Paul interview again of Ward Sun Paul. And I find that interview was very interesting, and at the same time, I was just fascinated. He's an intelligent man. Cardwell, he's very intelligent. I mean, he's the CEO of healthcare of hospital. Yeah, I know. People will say that he's a con man. He's a corrupt. For some reason, along the way, the success probably get the better of him, and he decided that he want, quicker money. So he started to do this. He should not be doing, and I think that's already he have said it, so I don't want to repeat it. So he, defrauded the hospital with big chunk of money, and then he got caught, and he was brought to trial, and he got sentenced to prison sentence, but with good behavior, and then with good behavior, I think he got out a little bit early than he's supposed to serve. So my reaction was when I was watching that, especially the interview with Paul McGill. I should say just Paul McGill, so it doesn't confuse. Whenever Paul Cardwell was saying, his word at the hospital, in terms of recruiting, the worker, even like Filipino worker, to how you can recruit the Filipino, like nurses and like physical therapy, to work in the U.S. All aligned to what I have known, because I have many friends, Filipino friends, are are a nurse or physical therapy, and they that's how that's how they get into U.S. by sponsoring, through sponsoring from company. So what I'm trying to say was everything that Paul was saying on that video with Paul interview. For me, it's true, because everything makes sense to me, because I know the background. I know the a little bit the background of the healthcare process, because I've obviously had many friends who are nurse, doctor, and physical therapy. Some of my family are also in that field, so I can relate. It's just, I don't think he was lying on that one. What the people were commenting about the lie was defaulting the hospital, which is we may think it's not a big deal, because at least it's a hospital. It's not somebody like Joe the plumber or something like that. But if you think about it, though, when you default the hospital, that's why the hospital has to make up for that. They have to make up for that. That's why our healthcare is it's a disaster. I mean, every time you go to the hospital or something like that, you're gonna expect you're paying so much. I do remember. I want to share this with you guys. I do remember when I was all my early years. I was struggle with my working couple of job. And then just have my daughter at that time. And one day I have to bring my daughter for emergency, right? For emergency. At that time, I just left my job, so I don't have any insurance. This is like probably many years ago. So I took that to the hospital, and then It just went there for it was not. It's just an outpatient. Went to ER, because I believe maybe it's a high fever, and then after a few hours there, they let. I'm not quite sure. I could not remember if she stayed one day or not. It was just if she stayed there for one day, maybe she stayed for one day. I cannot remember. This is a very long time ago. But what I'm trying to say though, that that bill just to the ER, I don't think she stayed one night because it was just probably a couple of hours, and then they let us go home, and I was very, of course, at that time I was very worried, but she was fine. After went to the ER, she was feeling better. And then I have to go there to talk to the accountant, to check on my bill. I said, I'm here to check on my bill, I want to see how much is it. And the total bill for that was like a 2,000 something. We are talking about maybe 15 years, 20 years ago. This is about 15, 20 years ago. The bill was at more than $2,000, something like that. And I said to the accounting department, I said, you know what, I'm not, I'm just working like, what do you call that, in between job. I don't have any insurance. I want to pay for this one, but is there possible we can, you can, work with me? We do like a, payment. Can you give me a payment plan? And that hospital, also at the same time, I just remember the hospital was I believe it's like a non-profit hospital. And to my, shock, I was shocked. The accountant said, "Oh, you're not working right now." I said, "No, I'm not. I'm looking for work." And then she said, "Okay, don't worry about it." I said, "What do you mean, don't worry about it? We're just going to take care of it. You don't have to worry about it." So in short, they let me off the hook. They let me off the hook. But what I'm trying to say though, see, somebody, at that time, I could not, because I was not working, the hospital did not let me pay, but somebody have to pay for that one. It's not, they're not going to give everybody free, and somebody has to pay for that one. And then if that happened that I was working at that time, I have insurance, I would have to pay for that 2,000 something, just for a few hours in the ER. So what I'm trying to say is, when Paul defaulted the hospital, somebody has to pay for that one. It's not, So if you think about it, that's why I'm trying. So the patient, the one who can afford to pay, had to pay for that, whatever they lost, for this. That's how it worked. But anyway, where was I now? So I listened to the Paul interview with Paul Caldwell. I think for me he was not lying on that particular video on my perspective, and then I just after that I kind of searched the name Paul Caldwell, and if you type in Paul Caldwell, it will bring up whatever he has already, and you type in there, it just show you this article here is it's right there. The article was about he was saying that I was prideful, I was arrogant, and I'm a thief. And this this article is dated January 28, 2014. This is about his his trouble. This article about his trouble. Is defaulting the hospital. It's all there. You can read about it. I don't have to read it to you. It's What I'm trying to say though, when Paul Cardwell, interviewed by Mart and also Paul McGill, he did not try to hide his identity. So he did not try to hide his identity. He tell it like it is. This is my name. He did not try to just say, Wordson Paul or something like that. He tell his name. So he's not trying to hide. He's not trying to hide. I think his probably his big mistake was, sometimes when these things happen, you already pay for your mistake, and then you think it's over, it's gone. But unfortunately, we are living in a social media. Everything is searchable. If you have something, a previous record, it's going to come up, and it's going to keep coming up unless you talk about it, unless you be upfront and be one step ahead and say, hey, this is me. I make my mistake. I pay for it already, but I just want to share with you, not things not to do, and move forward. So I think that's the only, probably in my judgment, the only mistake. And I'm not the only one who shared that belief. I think there are also other people were saying the same. That's a mistake of here. Let me just read one to you. There's one said that I served with Paul in the Navy, and then these are like backing him up. And then there's another person said, your story make you more interesting to me, not less. Who doesn't love fall from grace? I think, yeah, that's the only thing I can say though, that if Paul Cardwell have come up forward, and say, hey, this is what happened to me, but now I'm going straight, so, and just try to advise people, not to make the mistake that what I have done. So I think he's gonna be a YouTube sensation, a star, because this man is very intelligent, and he has a lot to offer, especially with healthcare. I mean, the expat, talk about expat in the Philippines. Most are in the 50, in the 60. We all need the healthcare, education. We need to know about all these things. And he was so good. And he said, if like in the Philippines, he have very knowledgeable about the healthcare in the Philippines. And he also suggested that if you have more complicated or more sensitive, issue, you should maybe go to Thailand. The next option will be Thailand. And then after Thailand, you probably have to, just go back to U.S. or to wherever your country, So he's very, what I'm trying to say that he can really bring a big contribution to the expat community. I really do. And then at the same time, he was right. He was saying that he's not trying to hide it. I don't think he's trying to hide his record, because if he's trying to hide it, he will not use his real name. And then as he was saying that he doesn't, he just give out good information for other people, and then share his knowledge, and he doesn't have any like Patreon or Patreon or like a membership. He does have PayPal though. If you go to like About Me, there's a link for his PayPal, which is there's nothing wrong with that. The PayPal link, or even the Patreon, or even the membership. For me, there's nothing wrong with that. These are the tools that YT provided for this, for the blogger to earn some money. I mean, that's why you're making video, is to educate people. I mean, everything, if you want to learn something, you have to pay for it, right? So I mean, if you like his advice, hey, you can buy him a coffee or send him a sticker. I don't think there's not anything wrong with that. So that's just my humble opinion. I think, for it's just, unfortunately, this is how it end, how it was unfolded. But I think the good side, in the long run, he'll be okay. I believe Paul Cardwell will be okay, and so is Mart. Mart, he had to set his reputation. Hey, if you wanna come for my interview, you better tell the truth, because he has an obligation to his viewer. He has an obligation. If he interviews somebody and then later find out that there's some sketchy with that person, he had to say it, not to hide it. Because if he hide it, and then what happened? That's almost make him like a compliance, right? So he has also have responsibility to his viewer. So I hope everybody can understand this situation, and let's wish everybody a happy ending. Anyway, let me know your thought on this video. Thank you again for watching. Take care, stay safe, and God bless. Bye bye.